Hi, I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm going to be letting you guys know what your work looks like for today, for Thursday, October the 22nd. So, first of all, you've looked here into the calendar because you were able to find this video. So, what you're going to do is the two things that we've been working on all week. Today is our long day. So, today's the day that you get a huge chunk of this done, if not completely 100% done. Okay. So, I'm going to go through each of these with you so that you completely understand what you're working on for your independent time today. So you're going to continue working on the reading projects and remembering that these are due tomorrow. So you are going to be giving a presentation. The presentations are going to be on Flipgrid, and I'm going to be taking a look and grading those. So I want to kind of point out a few things for you. So once we head to our class, I'm going to hit student view here. And you go into our modules. I'm going to kind of show you a few things here. So first of all, this is the document here where you should have up the entire time you're working on your project. So regardless of what you're working on, this is the document that you're going to consistently go back to answer those questions. So I know some of you guys were asking me questions like, oh, do I have everything included? And this is the sheet that I'm going to have you consistently go back to make sure that you do have everything done, right? So on here, the first one that we saw here was like movie poster project. So everything that you have to include is written right on this piece of paper, right? So it's like you have to also write a book review. A book review includes a shoot summary, focuses on what you did or you didn't like, includes specific details about what you liked about the characters and what about the novel that really grabbed you. Do you think it was well written? So all of these questions, if you are doing movie poster project, I'm going to be looking for. So I know some of you in class are actually creating some kind of PowerPoint or some kind of like maybe on your infographic, or you actually have a big poster board. If that's you, you need to also make sure that you answered these questions, and you can either do it on the poster board or you can do it on a PowerPoint. So it's really up to you for how you want to give me the information. So this is true with any of these projects, right? So the next one that I'm looking at is like mapping it all out, creating a poster-sized town of the map or map of the town. Some of you guys are creating this on Pictochart, and that's great. You need to also make sure that you include all of these different parts with it, right? Create labels, remember to include a border, a compass, what were the 5 most important events. So if on your timeline that you're working, you're like, I don't really know where to fit those parts of the assignment, throw it in a PowerPoint, okay? When you're sharing your screen on Flipgrid, whenever you go to do that on tomorrow for your presentation, you're going to be able to kind of toggle back and forth between like showing what you've been doing and then also showing your PowerPoint, if that makes sense. So make sure that you go through each and every one of those parts. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you about. The next thing that I wanted to bring your attention to is the rubric. So I am going to be grading you on all of these different indicators, and I know we've been using rubrics all year, so this isn't anything new, but you're going to be graded on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things, okay? So in these 5 different things that you're going to be graded on, this is where I want you to really kind of focus on, okay, do I have all of these components? So written portion. Do you have any spelling errors or grammar? If it's spelled incorrectly, it's going to underline it in red for you. So that's why we were like, you should pretty much have 0 spelling errors on there. Content. Are all of the components included for the project? So what does that mean? That means that document that I just showed you, did you include and answer all of those different questions? So I'm also grading you on theme. Did you give me the theme of the novel explained? So if you realize you're sitting there and you're like, I really didn't explain how my project connects to theme, make it a PowerPoint slide. Call it theme and then explain how your project ties to theme. What is the theme of the Stargirl? How does that apply to your colors that you used in your project or in the songs that you decided to choose? So for each and every one of your projects, this is going to be a little bit different. The next one is going to be communication. 2 communication grades. So this is huge with communication. Do you create an engaging presentation using multimedia? So if you realize that you just created a PowerPoint and it's all just kind of white and a little blank, think about, okay, let me add some pictures into this. Let me see if I can add some transitions. Let me see if I can add like those sort of things, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Then the next one is going to be another communications grade. Where is it? Are you speaking in a clearly and organized manner? So for example, when you're watching this video that I'm recording you right now, I have practiced this. So if you notice, I'm not stumbling over my words. I know what I'm saying. I knew exactly where I was going to go and what I was going to say. Are you going to have a few mess ups? Yes. But if I'm kind of stumbling through this the entire time, then that's going to let us know that our grade is going to be a little bit lower to a 2 or a 1. So those are all the different components. You will have 5 minutes to present your project. So 5 minutes. You can't go over that time. You can absolutely go under that time. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing that I want to make sure that you get done. The second thing that you need to get done is making sure that you're working on that other assignment for social studies. And this is the guy that you're going to be heading to go to the Flipgrid code. So once you get in Flipgrid, you're going to be watching at least 2 different videos from your peers on each of the regions to kind of help you with filling out your graphic organizer. Now, where's your graphic organizer? That's located in OneNote. So remember, you need to give me notes on the Northeast, the Southeast, Midwest, Southwest, and the West. So this is where you're going to be looking at having your peers teach you about all of these different areas, about climate, landforms, water, landmarks, and any additional interesting facts that your peers had told you about. I will be taking this for a grade. So you became an expert just about one of these regions. Now you need to prove to me that you understand all of the other regions. So if I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that you only wrote maybe 1 or 2 different sentences for each of these, and I'm like, wow, if you watch 2 different videos from different people and you still didn't get it, that's letting me know that I need to have a little bit more included. Okay, so make sure that you're including enough information. If you happen to be listening to some videos and you're like, wow, I'm still not clear on something, maybe, for instance, in the Southeast presentation, the videos that you watched, you were like, I didn't get a lot of information about water. Remember where they got their information from, right? That was from our class under modules. So let's go there. And you can look through the resources that they use to research to help fill out your graphic organizer if you're having struggles with the videos. Okay. So then if I go to, I think we said Southeast, I was like, man, it just didn't tell me a lot about the land and water. So then once I click on here, open her up, it's going to open everything up here. So then I'm like, ooh, it's talking about swamps, it's talking about beaches. And so this is what I could also put down on my graphic organizer. Okay. So the 2 assignments, again, that you're going to have, that you're going to be working on, and I highlighted those in the calendar. So if you ever need to know, like, ooh, what are we doing today? This will always be highlighted here on the calendar. So you're going to continue working on the reading projects. That's what I just described. And then you're also going to be filling out the graphic organizer over the regions. Okay. So I will be available via email, or you can also try to dial me up on Teams. So during this time, I may or may not be available right away for Teams because I might be meeting with other students at that time. So email would probably be the best form of communication. I might even dial you in if I feel like we can't figure this out over email. So remember, we talked about being specific in your emails, as specific as you possibly can. Okay. So if you're like, man, I'm just really kind of struggling with this, let me know and I will do my very, very best to help you. So I think that's it. You also have library today. The sub is going to be taking you to the library, and that's going to be right after lunchtime. So let's say that you get done with everything, you feel good about everything. Then what you can do is you can watch CNN 10 or you can read independently. Okay, so that's all we've got for you. I look forward to talking to you a little bit more about your reading projects.